All right, so today we got the booth set up. We're gonna be painting the frame. You probably see it's already painted, but I just didn't record an intro to it. I used the Rust Reform and Seal by Rust-Oleum. I've used this stuff on my car and stuff before, and it seemed to work good. So I used the spray and the brush, so you'll only see the brush. I recorded that. So we have the whole frame painted, all matte black. I know it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not making a show car or anything, or a show bike. I just want it to be all one color and just look uniform. So I'll show you guys once it dries. It should be dry fairly soon. Yeah, so in this episode, that's what we're gonna be doing, is just painting the whole bike and stuff, going over that. I'm gonna peel the tape off, probably take the tarp out, and then I'm gonna go with a little brush, a little small one, and just any little areas that I missed, just go and touch up the whole thing, just to make it look as good as possible. Obviously it's not perfect. Definitely looks a lot better all black than, you know, how it was. And it's still drying in some spots. I got the lower part too, all up here. But you can see right here, it's still drying, so it's a little, just from sanding and stuff. But what I can do, since this is so thick, because it's like brushed on, is after it's completely dry, after like a day or two, I can take some 1500 sandpaper and just sand it down, and it'll still be like a matte finish, but it'll just be a lot smoother than it is right now. So mainly I just wanted to get everything all one color, because it was all just random and stuff, and all sanded down. So now it's all just a uniform matte black. Also, I mounted the blinkers the other night as well, right in there, and I can show you how they look real quick. Just give me 1 second. There we go. You can see with a little blank, it'll just kind of. But yeah, so now I am just gonna go around it with a little paintbrush and just find any areas that I need to touch up, and just kind of put a little bit extra paint in there before everything fully dries. I know, like down here, I'm gonna hit a couple of spots just because I didn't want to take all this stuff off. I know it's kind of not how you're supposed to do it, but I don't really care. I'm just kind of doing it this way just because it's easier and it's faster, and I want to ride my motorcycle. So I'm just going to go around and just touch up any little spots and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll go from there. So this is pretty much good to go now. I went over everything, tried to find any little spots that I missed. We're gonna call it a day on that. I'm gonna just let it dry. These I am gonna clean up right now. I'm gonna just try, I use this stuff. This stuff's actually pretty good on, I used it, I just kind of like rubbed down all this stuff with it, and it got rid of a lot of just like the little surface rust spots and stuff without me having to take the grind wheel to like stuff that is hard to reach, like in there. So while I'm cleaning everything up from today, I just sprayed some on these to see if it'll take all this shit off too. Just because like, I don't feel like getting inside of these little grooves with like a grinding wheel or anything. So I'm gonna see if that works. I'm gonna let it, you gotta just let it sit for like an hour. So while I clean everything up, I am just going to let that stuff sit. Also, I don't know if I've ever explained this, but like this is my dad's barn. And this dude is the most extra do when it comes to building anything. So like all these shelves that he puts up, and I'm not even kidding when I say these things could like hold up the car. Like he builds everything to be like super, super strong. Look at this dude. This is gonna be the bathroom, and this is the utility room or whatever. This dude's got like a school fountain. Where do you get that from? I mean, it's sick. And then like all the trim board and stuff around all this. He's like, I'm gonna paint it all black and orange because he's a huge Harley guy. I don't know if I've ever pointed out his Harley over there, but, and he's got this. Like, dude, I just don't get where you get that from. But I don't know, it's pretty sick though. And the dude knows how to build stuff. And I am thankful for him showing me how to be able to build stuff, because a lot of people can't build stuff, man. And I don't know how you work like that. I like building stuff. Also, one other thing that you should buy if you're ever rebuilding a fucking car or a bike is this shit, the Vapo Rust. So you put it just in like a bowl, or not a bowl, a bucket, and you just put stuff in there and just let it sit for like a day, and it'll literally take the rust off of anything. So you don't gotta worry about like grinding it down and stuff. You literally just throw it all in there, and like if something has plastic on it, you can just throw it in there, and it'll just like, if there's any metal on the plastic, like I did the pegs that you stand on, and those are like this, like they got like the rubber plastic and then the metal, so like the end piece was a little rusted, and I didn't feel like grinding it down after I took them off, so I literally just threw it in there, and it's safe on all the plastic and stuff, so you don't have to worry about like doing anything to that. Yeah, definitely recommend buying that stuff because it works wonders with rust and stuff like that. But the bike, or the frame, so like the majority of the work is pretty much done. Everything else, like all my headlight and handlebars and all that stuff, is super easy to put on, so I'm not worried about that. But this was like all the main stuff, was like the frame and the box and all that stuff. So now I just need to do my wiring. Once I get the fuses and stuff wired in, then I'll be good to go on that, and I can kind of start piecing everything else back together. So I can put the tank back on, the seat fully bolted on, the battery mounted up and wired up, and then kind of start riding it. I mean, that's kind of where we're leaving off, and yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully this thing will be done in a week or two.
I'm loading up my clip, got a plan for tonight. A dog in my hand.